Thank you for joining us. Please introduce yourself and tell us about the role that you're running for.
Hi, my name's Jonathan Lambert Melton. I am one of the current at-large Raleigh City Council members, and I am running for re-election to Raleigh City Council at large.
Okay, great. We've got five simple questions here for you. First one is, why are you running for office?
Well, I'm running for office really for the same reasons I ran for the first time in 2019. I want to continue to work to make Raleigh safer, more affordable, and less congested. We have made so many strides since I have been on the city council for all three of those priorities and initiatives. But a lot of the work we have done, there are still key initiatives that have not quite crossed the finish line yet. And I really want to see those initiatives through to completion. For example, for making the city less congested, we are finally investing and starting construction on mass rapid transit in Raleigh. We have started construction on the first bus rapid transit line. For those who are not familiar with bus rapid transit, it, for all intents and purposes, is light rail. It looks and feels like light rail. The buses are long and attached like trains. It runs in its own lane. It has signal priority and queue jumping, meaning you don't wait in traffic. It is a new type of transit for North Carolina, but not new in the United States. I think the most um, closest example is in Richmond. And so I want to see that through to completion. We have done a ton of work on increasing housing affordability and affordable housing through zoning reform, making it easier to build different types of housing that's affordable to people at different stages in life, like duplexes and quads and townhomes and tiny homes and accessory dwelling units. And there's more work to do there. On the affordable housing piece, I supported the affordable housing bond that was approved by voters a few years ago. That money is still coming in, and we are still funding good projects and partnering with nonprofits to build affordable housing on city-owned land. I want to continue to do that work. And then on the public safety piece, I'm proud to have the support of all three public safety unions in Raleigh. I know we do not have enough officers to fill current vacancies, and we haven't added officers to keep pace with rising population growth. And so that is a priority that I would like to see us make substantial improvement on. Also, on the public safety piece, I'm in support of getting some alternative response models up and running, like the Durham HARP program. I think that allows our officers to deal with actual crime and safety issues, and there's a better way to care for the community when they just need a little bit of help. And so, looking to get our co-response teams up and running, mental health professionals embedded in our 911 call center, and then a separate alternative response team that would be separate from the police department that can answer calls when someone needs housing or food or is having a mental health issue. So those are three big initiatives, a lot of work happening there, and I want to stay on the city council to see a lot of that work through to completion.
Okay, that's great. How do you engage with the community when they have concerns or questions for you?
Well, so personally, I hold regular office hours every month or every other month. Sometimes I miss one if there's a holiday or something, but I just announced that I'm going to be at a locally owned business. Usually it's a coffee shop, sometimes a bottle shop, and anybody can come talk to me. I'm there for 2 or 3 hours, no agenda, just whatever's on your mind. I also send summaries and updates from all of our city council meetings every month, and folks can respond to those. And often they do, and I answer questions in an effort to keep folks informed. I'm also very responsive on social media. I think being transparent and accessible is important as a council member. It's what I strive to be. And then as far as the city council overall is concerned, when I was first elected, I worked to change our rules for public comment. Under the old rules, you had to sign up 2 weeks before the next council meeting to speak. I don't know anybody who is thinking about a council meeting 2 weeks before it happens. And so I worked with the city attorney's office to shorten that time. Now you can sign up. Our meetings are on Tuesday. You can sign up the weekend prior, by the weekend prior. And then also with a former council member, Nicole Stewart, she and I worked to change our code, our city code, to include renters. 50% of our city are renters, and they were being excluded from the decision-making table. So we changed that to where they are required to receive notice of city business now as well. And so I think it's really important to be accessible as a council member and then also to continue to work to make the city council as a governing body more accessible.
Okay, great. So why are you the best candidate for this position?
Well, I'm best candidate because I've got a track record from 2 terms that I'm very proud of. You can go on my website and see the issues and see the work that I've done. I think that the endorsements for my reelection, I'm very proud of those as well. I think they speak to the work I have done on the city council, just the wide range and breadth of my endorsements But, I think I'm the best council member or the person for the job because I, I'm only in it because I want to help. I don't think it makes me important. It certainly doesn't make me a lot of money. It certainly is a lot of time, but I really feel like I'm helping. That's why I ran for the first time in 2019, is I felt like I saw challenges that I knew there were better ways to address, and I've always been the type of person, if not me, then who. So I raised my hand then and was lucky enough to be elected, and that's why I'm still in it. I just want to do good work and help the community and help the city. I think it's a really exciting time to be in Raleigh. People always ask me why Raleigh. There's, a lot of places that are what they're going to be, but Raleigh is still becoming what we're going to be, and we're already a great place, and we're just getting better. And that's a really exciting time to be here. It's certainly an exciting opportunity to be one of the 8 folks sitting at the table helping to make the decisions that guide that growth and that trajectory.
Okay, that's great. Um, what would be one of your first priorities in your next term?
Well, going back to the housing affordability issue, we have done a lot of zoning reform work, but there is one type of housing that we have not yet unlocked or legalized in Raleigh. It's called single room occupancy. Folks call it an adult dorm. Basically, if you lived in a dorm in college, you've lived in a single room occupancy building. So this would be a multifamily building where folks rent their own like private sleeping quarters. Maybe there's a bathroom in there and a sink, but then there's shared community space. So shared living rooms and washers and dryers and kitchens. And though that type of housing, SROs or single room occupancy, is mostly illegal across the country. It is illegal mostly in Raleigh. And there's been an initiative by certain cities to try to bring it back, make it legal. I think Philadelphia was the first one to do it, and it can really help with our affordability. It's a more affordable way to live, a bit more sustainable, lower maintenance, and I think it can really help. And we've taken the first steps to legalize it in Raleigh, but we're not quite there yet, and I would like to get that done very early in the next term.
Okay. What single change or addition to downtown or amenity would you like to see that you think would significantly increase foot traffic, boost retail sales, and really kind of bring back the vibrancy of downtown?
Well, first I'll say I was proud to support the relocation of Red Hat, keeping it downtown and making it permanent. I think that is going to be critical to downtown. But looking to future initiatives, that's a tough question because there's a lot of ideas. Since I've been on the city council, I have chaired our Economic Development and Innovation Committee, and a lot of the downtown work and initiatives have come through my committee. So we worked on the permanent streeteries, and we worked on the Sip and Stroll, which is the downtown social district. We recently received an economic development report and study that the city commissioned with the Downtown Raleigh Alliance, and that report is filled with recommendations on how to improve our central business district. Um, One thing that we have already funded, and you will start to see this work happening, is Fayetteville Street in particular. It has really wide sidewalks, all these historic storefronts, and a lot of new restaurants and bars are opening on Fayetteville Street. I think the issue with the right-of-way or the public space, those sidewalks, is it's cluttered. Cluttered with the old newspaper kiosks, furniture that's in the way. It's also very gray. There's not a lot of color or lighting. And so the first thing we have funded is clearing out all the things that are in the way on the sidewalks, which will allow these bars and restaurants to put tables out there, more outdoor dining, more lighting, probably some string lights, more murals, more color. And I think that will really help. But there is an entire report, an entire roadmap that was given to us on big and little adjustments we can make. And I think all of them should be implemented. And upon re-election, I would be honored to continue to chair the Economic Development Innovation Committee and continue to help guide those initiatives through.
Okay, great. Well, that's all five. I really appreciate you taking the time with us this morning and tell us a little bit about yourself and your positions on topics downtown. And best of luck with your upcoming election, and we'll see you downtown.
Thank you very much.